Food is one of the most important considerations when you go camping. And when I'm traveling, I always take my fridge. Today, I'm going to show you iFROST 95 litre DualZone fridge freezer. After years of camping, I've got some pretty good hacks on how to pack your fridge and freezer, whether it be a short or long trip. I've gone away for a couple of weeks where we haven't had a shop or a supermarket to restock. So I've taken a fridge and a freezer. But what I love about this is that it's basically 2 in 1. So I've got the freezer and also this one on a fridge temperature. This is actually quite a large freezer. And when I'm making meals, I make extra and I use my vacuum packer. So that way I can store extra food and it doesn't take a lot of space. So things like curries, spaghetti sauce, sausages, they're all labelled and all in nice flat packs. So you can actually stock quite a lot in the freezer. And also, if we're getting into a campsite late, all I have to do is generally the day before, I'll work out what I want to eat. So I'll take that out of the freezer so it will be defrosted, ready just to heat up. And then I might just have to make some rice. So it is super easy. Another thing I like about the iFROST DualZone fridge freezer is that the lid open both ways. So it doesn't really matter which way you put it in your car. And when I take this off, if I'm wanting to move the fridge or say when I'm putting it in the car, when you've got 95 litres of food, it can get quite heavy. So these baskets are great because they can easily come out. Same with the fridge baskets as well. So therefore it makes it a lot lighter. And this is only 27 kilos when it doesn't have food in it. So it's really easy to carry. With the freezer, I've got it about between -5 and -10. But you need to be more careful with the fridge because some people can end up putting it too cold and freezing your food. And that is the last thing you want when you get to your campsite and you've got half your food already spoiled. With the fridge here, I've got it running at 4 degrees. And I've tested it at home, so I know it's right when we go away on our trip. My spinach here is nice and cold and it hasn't frozen. So if the spinach is good, then I've generally got my temperatures pretty right. When I stock my fridge, this has got a lot of space in it, which is great because I can put a heap of food in there. But you also want to be able to access everything easily. So I'm going to show you how I do it. What I've found is using containers are great to keep everything together and it stops, say, your fruit and vegetables squashing each other and rattling around, particularly if you're going on rough 4-wheel drive tracks. So I had so much room, I was able to put my eggs in the fridge. I don't normally, but because we're going to a hot location next week, they're in the fridge. But here I tend to use containers and that way it's easy to see what I've got in here and to access it. So my first one, I've got things like sour cream, you definitely don't want spilling in the bottom of your fridge, my cheese, butter, and I've even vacuum packed ham because it's easier to take. I've got bacon in there. My second one, I've got my salad items. Again, the tomatoes, avocado, cucumber, all of them are in great condition because it's not too cold in the fridge that I'm freezing them. I've had so many camp trips where I have frozen the lettuce and tomatoes and I know I'm not alone there. It's quite a common thing to do. And in the bottom here, I've got my fruit, grapes, strawberries, apples. These aren't going to last that long. What we'll try to do is have our meals at the start of the trip where we're using all our salad items. And with the really long trips, I'd have that extra ice box so I can keep more fruit and veg in there that will be cooled when I'm defrosting those meals. The way I've packed the fridge with the boxes is that you can still access all the milk and everything easily without having to get the boxes out. I've got 3 10-inch boys, so I've got 4 litres of milk in there and I often top it up with the UHT milk. By the end of the trip, we're just having UHT milk, but it's nice to start with real milk at the beginning. I've got some more salad items and in here I've also got some soft drink cans, but I never fill the fridge with just cans because we're pretty good at, if we take a cold one out, is putting a hot one in there to cool down. But it's really important to get the temperature of your fridge right. And I love this one because it's a nice consistent temperature all the way through the basket. With the DualZone, it will go to -18 or +10. I'm running this at 4 degrees, which still keeps my meat cool without freezing the fruit and veg. The 95 litre DualZone is great if you're going away for an extended period of time or you've got a really large family. And it can be run as 2 fridges, 2 freezers, or a fridge freezer, and it actually fits 144 cans. But if you want something a little bit smaller for a weekend, then this also comes in the iFROST 40 litre. In regard to powering the DualZone, when I'm driving, I plug it into the 12-volt cigarette port. At home, I just use mains power, and you can do that as well if you're at a caravan park. But if you're camping remotely and you don't have power, I use a PS2000 power station, and that can run the DualZone for days. However, if you're wanting to go for an extended period of time, the best thing is to get a solar blanket, which will recharge the power station. Lastly, the iFROST DualZone fridge freezer has a really nice digital display, and it's super easy to set so you know exactly what your temperatures are. I've got a week's worth of food here for a family of 5, including 3 teenagers, and I still could have put more in this fridge freezer. The most important thing when you're going away is do good meal preparation, know how to use your fridge, use it at home before you go away, and when you've got your food right, it definitely makes a much more enjoyable camping experience.